Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Bol, Hare Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Jai Gauranga, Jai Gauranga, Jai Gauranga, Jai Jaya Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana, Gaura Hare, Bhakti Pavana Gaura Hare, Nita 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 Gauranga, Nita Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivajagacharya Ashtottara Satasri Srimati Divine Grace Abhay Charanara Vinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki Shri Prabhupada ki Shri Prabhupada Anuga ki Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki Nitai Gaura Premanande. All glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chiva Narottamam Daivim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. Reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 3, Text 22. Chapter 3, Text 22, I'm repeating. Name partasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana nanavaptam avatavyam varta eva cha karmani. Please repeat if you can. Name partasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana nanavaptam avaptavyam varta eva cha karmani. Name partasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana nanavaptam avaptavyam varta eva cha karmani. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation: O son of Pritha, there is no work prescribed for me within all the three planetary systems, nor am I in want of anything, nor have I a need to obtain anything. And yet I am engaged in prescribed duties. Purport: the Supreme Personality of Godhead is described in the Vedic literatures as follows. Tam Ishwaranam Paramam Maheshwaram Tam Devatanam Paramam Cha Devatam Patim Patinam Paramam Parastat Vidhama Devam Bhuvanesha Nidyam Natasya Karyam Karanam Cha Vidyate Natat Shamaschabhyadikascha Drishyate Parashaya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruyate Swabhaviki Jnana Balakriyacha. The Supreme Lord is the controller of all other controllers, and He is the greatest of all the diverse planetary leaders. Everyone is under His control. All entities are delegated with particular power only by the Supreme Lord. They are not supreme themselves. He is also worshipable by all the demigods and is the supreme director of all directors. Therefore, He is transcendental to all kinds of material leaders and controllers and is worshipable by all. There is no one greater than Him, and He is the supreme cause of all causes. He does not possess a bodily form like that of an ordinary living entity. There is no difference between His body and His soul. He is absolute. All His senses are transcendental. Any one of His senses can perform the action of any other sense. Therefore, no one is greater than Him or equal to Him. His potencies are multifarious, and thus His deeds are automatically performed as a natural sequence. This is from the Shvetashvatara Upanishad 6.7. Since everything is in full opulence in the personality of Godhead and is existing in full truth, there is no duty for the Supreme Personality of Godhead to perform. One who must receive the results of work has some designated duty, but one who has nothing to achieve within the three planetary systems certainly has no duty. And yet Lord Krishna is engaged on the battlefield of Kurukshetra as the leader of the Kshatriyas, because the Kshatriyas are duty bound to give protection to the distressed. Although He is above all the regulations of the revealed scriptures, He does not do anything that violates the revealed scriptures. Om Tat Sat. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Dhyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitamatang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Paya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, welcome to all of you to Lord Jagannath's temple. We have the great fortune of being seated at the lotus feet of Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra Devi and Srila Prabhupada ji on this very nice, pleasant evening. We have been reading today the purport to the wonderful statement of Krishna saying, I have no duty. Name partasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana, in all the three worlds. So, Krishna is saying, making a very powerful statement on the battlefield to Arjuna. I don't have a duty, but you have a duty. I don't need to be performing this duty, but I'm doing it. But you definitely have a duty and you cannot go away from that duty. Why? Because before this he stated, Yad yadacharati sreshtat tat tat evetaro janah. Whatever the great people do, the common man will follow. And therefore you must do your duty because you have a lot of following. Many people are looking forward to you. You are a perfect, wonderful, dharmic Kshatriya. And you are a leader. You must act properly. But I don't have to actually. Name partasti kartavyam. Not like you. I don't have to, but still I am doing. Why? People are watching. The people who need to be guided, the people who want to see a leader leading them, for their sake, you must do it. You must do it. So, we learn from Bhagavad Gita that people who have crossed over material life, beyond the gunas, they become liberated. Actually, they don't have to do any duty. But still they do. Because the bulk of the people are going to follow what they see. What they see, they will follow. Therefore, Krishna is saying, even I am engaged in duty. I am on the battlefield. I am a chariot driver. And what if I say, I don't have any duty to do, and I walk off? What will happen to your chariot? What will happen to the war? What will happen to people watching me? But actually, I don't have any duty. Because why? I am the Supreme Lord. I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Name partasti kartavyam. I don't have duty like you. I don't have a duty like you. But still I am acting according to the principles for human society. I am not a human being. I am not like you, a conditioned soul. But still I am acting in human society. Even God comes and follows his duty. Why foolish people will say, how you are not doing the duty, therefore I will not do. So when Krishna comes down into this material world and he becomes like a human being, mixes with society, becomes accessible to everybody, he does so that we can learn. So that we can learn. It is not that we should imitate him. We should not imitate him. So, Prabhupada is saying in the purport that Krishna does not have to have a duty because whatever one needs to be done, he does it even without acting on that platform. He simply performs out of his own free will and desire. And when he performs out of his own free will and desire, his energies automatically act and execute it. That's mentioned here. Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate. God does not have to do any work. Only you and me have to do work. Because we are conditioned souls in this world. But he doesn't have to do anything. He is free. He is the Lord and Master of everything in this world. He doesn't have any duty. Right? So what is a duty? What is a duty? For many people, duty is something that weighs on the head. It is a burden. It's difficult to do. All those responsibilities, I want to be free from it. It's a burden. It's because you don't see the duty in terms of the goal of life. If you see it simply as a duty, alone, without connection with the goal of life, then you will find it is a big burden. We should always understand the full picture. Then we can do our duty very nicely. Because we know how it affects the entire society, how it affects other people, how it affects me. We can see many relationships and connections with our execution of the duty. But if you see it only as a duty, somebody's phone is ringing. But if you see it only as a duty, isolated from the full picture of human life, the goal of human life and everything, then it becomes very burdensome. For most people in this world, they don't know the goal of human life. They don't know what they're doing from morning to evening, why they're doing. Everybody's life is oriented towards gratification of senses, something to enjoy. And in that type of a situation, whatever stops you from enjoying becomes a burden. Becomes a burden. The value system is completely different. Everything changes. You don't have value for certain things. So that because of making sense gratification and material enjoyment the main purpose of life, when you do that, you become animalistic. And you don't remain a human being anymore. Your values completely change so much that you become callous, you become cruel to others, and you're simply interested in getting your gratification. Whatever stops me from doing that is a pain in the neck for me, I should stop it. That becomes the goal of life. That becomes a value. And it is very poor value. You become animalistic. So in human society, we have value-based duties. Some duties we perform. If I have a child, if I have a family, it may be difficult, but out of love for my child, I perform duty. How a mother performs a duty for the child, even though it is painful, even though the child is irresponsible, it is out of love that we perform, and it is a labor of love when she does a duty. She doesn't think it is a pain in the neck for me. I like my child. I love my child. And so even if passes stool on me, passes urine on me, and wakes me up in the middle of the night, I am happy to do it because I love my child. Because of love, duty becomes easy. Because of a personal relationship, duty becomes easy. Values in human society are all based on relationship, love, and all that. It's for those reasons that we perform our duty. And by performing this duty with those values, you will also see that you become spiritually oriented gradually. you are in a better position to have a relationship with God. You are in a better position to have a relationship with God. And as you make advancement in your relationship with God, you gradually become enlightened. And because of your self-realization, because of your God realization, even though you don't do your duty, sometimes, even though you don't do your duty, you're not implicated. That is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, where those who are Brahman realized, who are self-realized, for them there is no duty, Krishna is saying. But even they perform duty because people are watching. Because people are. That is their devotional service to the Lord. Because people are watching. So, a person does duty on different levels. Out of love for God, he performs duty, even though he need not do duty. Out of love for God, Arjuna performed the duty of being a Kshatriya, shooting his relatives, killing Bhishma, killing all these people. Why? Out of love for Krishna, he performed his duty. Because initially, he was refusing to do it. He was following the path of non-violence, saying that it's not good to be violent. Strishu dushtashu varshneya jayate varnashankara. If I kill, and I'm very sure I'll do good because I'm good at that job, Kshatriya. If I do that, so many people will die. There'll be so many widows and so many people will exploit single women. And there'll be unwanted population, Varna Shankara. And I'll be the cause for all of it. Then he lists a lot of things like that. And he says, therefore I don't want to fight. Krishna says, you are completely wrong. You must do your duty as a Kshatriya. We are fighting adharma. We cannot afford to leave it like this. It will be worse from your side. It will be a greater sin if you don't fight and kill your enemy. By not fighting, you will create a greater damage than you will create by fighting. By fighting, you will contain adharma, you will let dharma propagate itself, and in this way you will do good to the people of society. And people will get to know what is right, what is wrong. What should not be done, what should be done. They will get to know that. So this is how the Mahabharata runs. The Mahabharata runs with dharma being the topmost priority. God's laws and his teachings are the topmost priority. Nobody can violate it, however great you may be. However great you may be. So Karna, Dana, Virya, Shurya Karna. Very famous. He is great dharma person. But unfortunately for him, he got tied up with Duryodhana. Somehow or the other. And he neglected to follow Krishna's direction. When Krishna approached him and told him, you are a Pandava, you don't know maybe. Actually, you are one of the brothers, the eldest of the Pandavas. So isn't it proper for you to actually fight on the side of the Pandavas? You have a much deeper blood relationship with your brothers. And they are righteous. They are high-class dharma people. Don't you think you should do that? Karna, unfortunately, his reasoning was so clouded. He upheld his moral ethical code. I have given word to Duryodhana. I cannot go against my word. I will not go, but I will go against your word to me. Keeping up my word is more important than keeping up your word. He lost. He completely lost. Arjuna was also wanting to do that. Krishna chastised him and told him, don't do it. Listen to me. Fight this war. And then after Bhagavad Gita, hearing Bhagavad Gita, he said, yes, Karishye Vachanam Tava, I am convinced to do it by you. And I will follow your word. Whatever you say, I will do. And that's how he fought the war. But look at Karna. He thought, I am Dhanya Virya Shurya Karna. I know what I am doing. I will keep up my word. I will fight for Duryodhana because he has been my friend. It does not matter if somebody is your friend. You should carry out the word of the Lord. This is the lesson. That is Dharma. That is Dharma. Karna could not understand that. This is why Karna failed. Although he was materially very powerful, very talented, and a great dharmic person, great charitable person, everything. You will see in the Mahabharata, he'll cut off his kavacham and kundalam and give it, flush everything together. He'll give it in donation. He's ready to do so much, but it became useless because he did not understand the instruction of God, of Krishna. He didn't know how to follow Dharma. This is a very important point. But on the other side, Arjuna got to ask questions from Krishna, clarified all his doubts and understood why I must follow Krishna. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braja. Krishna said, give up all the other dharma duties, everything. Your duty is to surrender to me. Listen to me. This is the highest dharma that he understood. You see, no use being a good man. No use being a good man in this world. That's what you can understand from Karna's life. Don't just be a good man, be an intelligent good man. Understand the instructions of Krishna, which is what Arjuna did. You cannot do anything what you want and say it is Dharma. You cannot just do what you think is right. You must do what is actually right as per instructions of Krishna. This is a problem in our society. Everybody comes up with one idea and one type of following and one type of new dharma. And they get a following. Nobody cares to follow what Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita. He is telling Arjuna, this is your duty, don't fail to do it. Shoot your relatives. Shoot Bhishma, your grandfather. That is your duty as a Kshatriya. It's a very difficult duty to do for Arjuna, and he did it because he thought that is correct as per instructions of Krishna. So many times in life, no use being good and doing what is commonly good. You may be completely wrong. You may be completely wrong. Same way Krishna told Yudhishthira, Krishna told the Pandavas, the only way to kill Dronacharya, you should tell Ashwatthama is dead. Otherwise you will never get him. So he told, you tell Ashwatthama the elephant has died. Quietly in undertones you say elephant, but you say Ashwatthama the elephant has died. So he heard that and he immediately became very sad. My only son is dead. He sat down in meditation completely in the middle of the battlefield and they chopped off his head. Drishtadyumna came and chopped off his head. So everybody says it's cheating, very bad cheating. But if you look at it from the viewpoint of it's very difficult for people to digest this. If you look at it from the viewpoint of Dharma, Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Whatever the Supreme Lord says is really Dharma. According to what he said, he did. They became victorious. You may say it is cheating. You may say that Karna was asked to lift the wheel. He was in a difficult situation and Krishna told him, now is the time to shoot him. Then also Arjuna said, no, it's against Kshatriya rules. By following Kshatriya rules, you are never going to kill him. He will kill you. You want to win this war and put Yudhishthira on the throne and rule as per Dharma? Do. For this type of person, who is the person who advised that Draupadi should be disrobed, you don't have to follow the Dharma. He may be Dhanya Virya Shurya Karna, but what did he advise? He is the person who gave idea to disrobe Draupadi. So where is his Dharma? Your wife, he is the one who gave idea to disrobe. So Arjuna got, okay, he shot. Now, morally, ethically, people will discuss this and say, Krishna is very bad. Krishna is very bad. He's cheating. He's cheating. But now this sloka says, Nami partasti kartavyam Trishi Lokesh, I have no duty. You can't blame me that I'm cheating. Because I have nothing to do with this world. This is how you must understand Bhagavan. He is above, absolute, like Prabhupada is saying in the purport. He has nothing to do with the things of this world. Whatever he says is absolute. Whatever he does is absolute. It's transcendental. It's not of this world. You cannot judge God as per your moral regulation principles. He is not belonging to this world. This is the first point to understand. God is not under the frame of moral, ethical laws of human society. It is very difficult to understand for most people. That is why Krishna is following some rules of society. But where it is required to bang dharma and it is strategy required, he goes ahead and does it. Whatever people may think does not matter. Let it be done. But mostly he tries to keep within the laws and rules, because people so easily misunderstand. Everybody sees through the eyes of right and wrong. That is only for you and me, for people who have duty to do and don't do the duty. But for the Lord, you can't judge him. Na me partasti kartavyam. I don't belong to your group. Just like I always give the example that Prabhupada gave, when the collector comes to the jail, on Republic Day, all the prisoners, he sits and talks to them and gives a lecture. Then he gives them all some gift. Then 2 prisoners, he says, you are liberated. Your sentence is this special Republic Day gift for you because you have been very nice prisoners. Now people will say collector is also inside the prison house, so he should also be subjected to the prison rules and regulations. He must also wear this uniform. Collector doesn't belong to the jail. He is inside the jail, but he doesn't follow the rules of the jail. He need not. Why? While he is inside also, he is a free person. He is not a prisoner. But all the others there have to follow the rules and regulations. They are prisoners. Although the collector is with the prisoners, he is not under any rule or regulation. Same way, although Krishna comes from the transcendental world to this world, and he is mixing with everybody, he is telling, Nami partasti kartavyam. I don't have the rules and regulations imposed on me for the jail that you are in. I am free from it. I am the maker of this jail. I am the maker of the rules and regulations. I cannot be under it. This is the way to understand Bhagavan. So if I say, kill Karna like this, you can't tell me you are wrong. I don't belong to the jail. I cannot be wrong. This is the way to understand what is spiritual and absolute. Duality. Right, wrong, black, white, day, night, 1, 2, 0, 1. All these binaries we are stuck with. Because for imprisoned people, they are subjected to binary. Good and bad. If you do bad, they'll beat you in the jail. They give you solid beating to make you understand this is right, this is wrong. You will also sometimes beat your child, one rap. Don't do that again. I want you to understand this is wrong. You should not do it. So the world is filled with binaries. But God is not part of the binary. When he shoots Karna, for Karna it is very good. Because from Krishna's advice, he got an absolute arrow on him. He becomes liberated. That is what you should see from the viewpoint of Krishna. When God kills a person, he is liberated. He is taken back. Why? Because he is absolute. The result is you will become completely relieved from material life. But inside the material world, people will say this is wrong, this is that, and all that. But that person has already gone back to Krishna. That's what has happened. When Krishna killed Putana, he was 1 year old. And Putana is a great, very, very highly skilled Rakshashi of Kamsa. Special. She is expert at killing children. She is expert at killing children. And lots of children she kills for Kamsa. Because he's suspecting somebody will be Krishna somewhere born. So he sends her and she keeps killing like nothing. She comes to kill Krishna. She comes to kill Krishna. She comes looking very beautiful. She becomes Putana. She becomes from a Rakshashi Putana, she becomes a beautiful looking lady. So beautiful that people in Vrindavan think, who is this? Must be some demigoddess. She's coming from the heaven to see my child. They gave way to her. Go, 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 please go. You look so beautiful. Nobody will stop you. But she's a Rakshashi. Her real face is like this, with the horns and this and that and eyes like that. But she's hidden it very nicely, beauty. They allowed her inside. He went right inside Nanda Maharaja's home. Even Yashoda gave her way. Go to my room. You're so beautiful. You must bless my child. This is Krishna's plan. Krishna was, as soon as the curtain opened and Krishna saw her, he closed his eyes. It's mentioned in the Bhagavad. As soon as he saw her, he closed his eyes. Why? I am going to finish her. I am going to finish her. But he saw her. The wonderful thing is, she had come with her breasts coated with Kalakuta poison. And she wanted to breastfeed Krishna and kill him. She is very expert at killing, no? But she does not know whom she is going to kill. So as soon as Krishna saw her, he said, oh my gosh, she is in a woman form and I have to kill her. This is a demon in the form of a woman and I have to kill her. So he closed his eyes. It's mentioned. Small boy, 1 year old, his hands and legs he is waving. And as soon as Putana saw him, she thought, what a beautiful child. I have killed so many children. The most beautiful children I have killed. But this child is super good. She started feeling some good feeling towards Krishna. And she said, I will feed him. I will also feed him and he will die. I'll have both things. I'll get the chance to breastfeed him because he's so beautiful looking. Plus he will die also. To both things. Kamsa wants me to kill him. I'll do that, plus also I'll enjoy feeding him as a mother. So she went inside and she started breastfeeding him. Then the story says that Krishna just sucked her life out through her breast. He did not suck milk through her breast. He took her prana and life away. And she was screaming and running outside, leave me, who are you, leave me. And he didn't leave her, just her. And she is supposed to be the world's greatest expert on killing children. She faced the greatest challenge. And she ran outside the house with him hanging her breast. And she assumed her big Rakshasa form. Then only people came to, oh my gosh. And she ran outside and became a huge mountain. And fell down, dead. And Krishna was on top of her breast, so small, playing, after killing her. Then these Vrindavan Vasis said, my gosh, something auspicious. Very inauspicious. Some Krishna is alive. They did not know he has killed Putana. They don't know that he is Supreme Lord Krishna. No, they just like him very much. So in this way, they went and picked up the child and did all sorts of things. They coated him with cow's tail and then put cow dung water on them. Then Panchagavyam, Abhishekam, they did everything. Oh, my child took him in the Yamuna, put water on the sea and came back. But nobody knows what Krishna did. Krishna killed the demons. Then another thing he did is, I noticed that she has an attraction for me. Aho bakiyam stanakalakutam jigham sayayadapi sadhavi lebe katim dhatri uchitam tatonyam kamva dayalum sharanam tomeva. This beautiful shloka from the Bhagavatam is saying, Putana means Baki, Bakasura's sister. Aho bakiyam stanakala kutam. Stana means breast. Kalakuta poison she rubbed on her breast and came to kill Krishna. But what did Krishna do to her? He apparently killed her, but he actually took her to the spiritual world, made her his nurse in Vaikuntha. Why? She had a feeling of motherly affection for me. But people will say, he killed Putana. He killed Putana. But what did he do to Putana? He took her back to the spiritual world, although she was a demoness. Lebe gatim dhatri uchitam tato anya. Dhatri means nurse. Nurse means like mother. He gave her the position of a nurse, my assistant in the spiritual world, to look after me, along with my mother. Kamva dayalum sharanam tvameva. How can there be anybody more merciful, more dayalu than Krishna that I need to surrender to? There is nobody. This is the absolute nature of the Lord. So when he kills Karna, when he asked to kill Dronacharya, some other benefit is happening that you don't know. But in the material world, morally, ethically, you'll see this is wrong. It is not wrong. Why? Name partasti kartavyam trishilokeshu kinchana. No rules like that for me. Everything I do is transcendental. Everything I do is beneficial for everybody. Even if I kill Karna, it will send him back. Even if I kill Putana, you may think it is wrong. She will go back. Because if the absolute touches anything in this world, it will change to absolute. If fire touches anything, it will start burning. It will become fire. So, Krishna's statement here, there is no material duty for me, should be understood in the right context. And that is why we must worship the Lord. He is the only one person who is the absolute truth. Ekale Ishvara Krishna Arasava Britya. There is only one supreme absolute person, Krishna. Everybody else is his servant. That is why everybody, anybody should worship the supreme personality of Godhead Krishna. If you don't worship others also, does not matter. If you don't do your duties properly also, does not matter. But if you fail to do the duty of worshipping the Supreme Lord, you are finished. In the human form of life, you are finished. Why? Because it's absolute truth. You must connect. All other relative truths, whether you did or not, some particular devata you worshipped or not, your kula devata you worshipped or not, or whether you do this duty in the material world or not, it is okay, provided you are worshipping the Supreme Lord. This is the meaning of Sarva Dharman Parityajam Hamekam Sharanam Braja. Give up all the other duties. They are all meant for you to be led to me. And if by doing all that you are not being led to me, forget it. Directly worship me. That is the statement. So Krishna is absolute truth above the relative world. And it is a duty for everybody in this relative world, stuck in the relative world, stuck in dualities, to worship the supreme absolute truth, to become released from this duality, from this relative nature. Because you are spirit soul, you belong to the absolute truth, you are eternal. And to express your eternality, to express your real position, to come back to the original position of you being a spiritual entity, you must connect with the absolute truth. Then you become spiritualized. Then you become liberated. But if you keep connecting with everything material and pay importance to that, you will never get out. You will never become self-realized. You will never become liberated. So there are so many pastimes in the Mahabharata, in the Bhagavat, that shows Krishna is particularly doing it to show you, I don't belong to this category. You can't judge me according to this category. That is why you will see that Dronacharya is passing away, Karna is being shot under the advice of Krishna. All these things are debated and debated by moral and ethical people. It doesn't matter, it doesn't change the absolute truth. It doesn't change the absolute truth. Right? So, in Krishna's statement, Name Partasti Kartavyam Trishilokeshu Kinchana, we must understand, He is the Supreme Lord. Same question Arjuna asked earlier in the 7th or 8th chapters. He asked him in the 4th chapter, When Krishna says that this knowledge is coming in parampara, evam parampara praptam imam rajarshyo viduhu, and he's saying that Manurikshvakave abravit, I spoke it to Vivaswan, Manave Praha, Manurikshvakave abravit. I spoke millenniums ago to the sun god Vivaswan, the same subject matter. Vivaswan, Manave Praha. Vivaswan spoke to Manu. Manu spoke to, Ikshvaku. In this way it is coming down in human society. Then Arjuna says, how can I believe that? How can I believe that you standing in front of me spoke so many millions of years ago to Ikshvaku and to Vivaswan and all that? It doesn't make sense to me. Then Krishna will smile and say, many lifetimes you have passed. Bahuni me veditani janmani tavacharjuna tanyaham veda sarvani natvam veta parantapa. It is many lifetimes you have passed in this world. I know all of them, but you don't know. Natvam veta parantapa. I know all of them. Why? I am God. I am the absolute truth. I am not like you. Name partasi, the same thing doesn't apply to me. Your logic saying that, how do I know you spoke to Vivaswan? Because I say it. That's all. Period. Why? Because I say it. Why will I tell lies to you? Why will I tell lies to you? So in the Bhagavad Gita, he asks this question. And Krishna is saying, you don't know how many lifetimes you have passed. I know everything. You don't know yourself. And about me, anyway, nobody knows. Mam tu vedana kaschana. Great sages, rishis and sages cannot know me. Why? I can be known only by devotion. Bhaktyamam abhijanati. Only through bhakti you can know me. And because you are my devotee, I am telling you all these things so that you can understand. In this way, by devotion we can reach the absolute truth. By devotion we can reach Krishna very easily. And that's why we tell all of you to read Bhagavad Gita, to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It will open up your devotion to Krishna and you will become successful. Om Tat Sat. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. If you have any questions, please raise your hands. Otherwise, you come forward. Hare Krishna. உங்களுக்கு ஏதாவது கேள்விகள் இருந்தால் நீங்கள் எந்த மொழியில் இருந்தால் கேட்கலாம். மகாராஜ் உங்களுக்காக கற்றுக்க.
The water.
Okay. We obviously thank you so much, Mr. Madam, for wonderful class in Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Hare Krishna. இந்த கோவிலுக்கு முதல் கோவிலுக்கு வந்துள்ள பக்தர்கள் யாராவது இருந்தால் இந்த முன்னாடி வருமாறு கேட்கிறோம். First time visitors please come forward.